Okay, the next section in our foldable says, find a missing leg, A or B. That's the tab we're going to be writing on. So open that up. I'm going to be writing on the top. We will use the top and bottom, okay? So here we go. This is a little different from yesterday, but still similar. So let's draw ourselves. We're still dealing with right triangles. But now instead of giving you both legs, it's only going to give you one leg, but it's going to give you the hypotenuse. So let's look. Opposite of the right angle is always letter what?
C.
Letter C, good. And it says that letter C is going to be about 12 yards in length. And then one of the legs down here, it tells you is 8 yards, and it does not give you the other leg. Now, does it matter which leg I call what? No. So I'm going to start with my formula. A squared plus B squared equals C squared.
Can I go ahead and put B for the bottom?
Yeah, if you want. If you want to go ahead and say, oh, I think that that one's going to be letter B, we can call it B. We could have called it A. It doesn't matter. Do you know what leg A is?
No.
No, so let's keep it A squared. Do you know what leg B is?
Yes.
So it's going to be 8 squared equals your C squared, and that would be 12 squared. So now, this should look like something that you have worked before.
So you would do it backwards.
So the first thing I want to do is go ahead and let's square our numbers. That way, instead of having these little exponents, they're gone. Okay, so let's go ahead and do, we've got A squared. Do you know what 8 squared is?
64.
It means 64. Please, a lot of people think that means 16. They'll multiply that times that, but it means you have 2 factors of 8. So it is 16, or I'm sorry, 64. Listen to me.
Isn't it when you're doing exponents, like say you get like 8 and the exponent, just 8 times 8 if you have like,
Correct.
like the power of 10?
Right. Yep. On this one, it's 12 squared, which is? Okay. So now this should look like a nice 2-step equation, and we've been doing those for a while.
And that's the
Draw your line like I've taught you. We want to get A by itself, so what do you have to do?
minus
64.
Correct. Use inverse operations, or minus 64 on both sides. So now you're left with A squared equals 144 minus 64, which leaves 80. And now there's one last step, and what step is that? Finding the square root. Thank you. It's A squared. We want A by itself, so find the square root.
8.9.
It's approximately 8.9, we think?
Yeah.
Okay. That is the length, and it's in yards, of the missing leg.
That seems so bad.
Okay. Let's try one more.
What was it? 8.9.
8.9, approximately.
That equals 8.9.
Yep. Let's try another one. I'm going to draw the square, or I'm sorry, the triangle differently.
This is harder.
This is a little different. I'm going to tell you that this is 15 centimeters, and then down here is 10 centimeters. You can label these whatever you want. You know what this one has to be labeled, right?
Yes.
Now, and it doesn't matter what you call this one. If we set it up the same way, we could call it also letter B. Doesn't matter to me.
That's not just right.
Yep.
Go with A, B.
So A squared and B squared equals C squared. Plug in what you know. So it should be 10 squared, and it equals 15 squared. Next step, go ahead and work out your exponents. A squared plus 100 equals 225. Now you're ready to solve this equation. All I did was square these numbers in my calculator or my brain and got here. Now I'm ready to solve. First step is get rid of the 100 by subtracting.
Okay, slow.
Okay.
That equals 125. And then you find
So A squared then is what I'm left with on this side after I have made a zero pair. And it equals 125. But we have one last step, and that's using or taking the square root. So letter A, leg A.
11.2.
Okay, I agree with you. Let me show it real quick. Taking the square root of 125. 11.18, so we would round that to 11.2. And what unit is that measured in?
centimeters.
It is centimeters because that's what it said up here.
Oh, my bad.
This is easy.
Good.
I thought when you said find this, like, I thought where you had